Good morning. Excuse me while I light up my Missouri Meerschaum General with Orlick Golden Mixture. Today I want to make a VR to Derek Tant for his 1,000 sub worldwide Tant-a-way. Congratulations, sir. You certainly deserve 1,000 subs. Hell, you deserve 10,000. Hell, you deserve 1,000,000 subs. I have in my hand a list of the questions slash requirements that you have asked of us to respond to your giveaway, and I'm gonna actually go through them backwards because I just listened to your podcast. The Hey We're Talking. Congratulations on a really unique name, by the way. Hey We're Talking podcast. Is it a pod? I don't really know what a podcast is. I'll be honest. It's 2017, and I'm gonna be 36, and I'm out of the loop because I think podcasts were like 2003 technology, right? But anyway, I went to a website, and there were these sound files that I could listen to, and I listened to one of them, and I think it was like the Monday man jabber or the midweek man discussion or the testosterone Tuesday or some sort of overcompensating name like that. And anyway, I listened to it. And the particular one that I listened to was Derek talking about he did a total deep dive into spirits, bourbons versus scotches versus, what makes a whiskey, what makes a scotch, what makes a bourbon. And I consider myself a pretty educated guy when it comes to that stuff, but I was still just enthralled. And I thought it very interesting that Derek actually says, he kind of endorses the idea that that it's okay to put a little bit of water in your scotch, just a little bit of water to kind of open up the flavors. And I just wanted to respond to that and say, Derek, if you're going to spread that kind of liberal filth, you should probably just go work in the public schools. Oh, but it's totally acceptable to put water. No, I don't care. Oh, but it makes it taste better. I don't care. Oh, well, the makers of this scotch say you could put in. I don't care. I drink it the way it says to in the Bible, like God intended, straight and neat. Moving on. Favorite drink. Oh, okay. Sorry. I took some bad notes here. All right. If you could have a drink with any YTPC member, who would it be? What would you drink? And where would it be? Now, I can overthink this pretty easily because the where kind of determines the who. Like if I want to, I'd love to visit Germany, right? So I could say, I really want to have a drink with Bremen Pipe Smoker. And then I could just go, we'll have a drink. And then I'm going to go out and look at some sites, okay? See you later, buddy. But to give a serious answer to this question, the old guard comes to mind. Northwest Pipe Smoker, we could have a non-alky beer in his little Pacific Northwest shack up there. That'd be cool. Matches, of course. These guys have been watching for years. But I must say that Mr. Tant himself is in the running here because of his knowledge, wrong-headed though it may be, but his deep knowledge about whiskeys and spirits and stuff like that. Plus, I've never been to Texas. And we could sit on a tumbleweed and have a drink together. I think that'd be pretty cool. Next question. I like this, Derek. I like this giveaway because it's got light and frivolous questions, but it's also got some questions you can get pretty deep with if you want to. What's left on the bucket list? I think he phrased this in terms of when you die, what will you regret not having done in your life? And I could say something like, there's a couple things. Okay, I'll go ahead. I'm a photographer. And when I started my career, my goals were to have work printed in the New York Times and National Geographic. And probably something else too, but those are the ones that really stuck with me. And I have had work printed in the New York Times, and not National Geographic. Still haven't made it to Nat Geo, and you know what? I'm starting to let go of this. I don't anticipate that I will have work in the Geographic, and the Geographic isn't what it used to be. It really isn't. They just sold out to Murdoch and last year, I think it was. And that's fine. I don't really have anything against the Murdoch Group. It is what it is. But I don't think National Geographic is what it is anymore. So I'm kind of crossing that one off. I think I'm just going to have to admit defeat. The New York Times thing, man. It was bizarre. It was a very weird experience. Maybe I'll talk about it sometime. But I took a picture of some guy in his Suburban and like his vehicle, and that's my contribution to the New York Times. But you know what? I have a photo in the New York Times, so shut up. Okay, next thing on the bucket list. Battle rattle. If I come to the end of my life having not conquered my rampant unhealthiness, I will regret that. Even if it doesn't really affect me at the end of my life, even if I'm just like a fat old man, it doesn't really have a lot of problems because of it. I will regret that I never got a handle on it. Lastly, number 3, little peek into Max's inner life here. I have written a couple of novels, and I think they're good novels. People that have read them say that they're good novels. They say that they are publishable novels. At least that's what my mom said. She said they're great. Anyway, I haven't done anything with them just mostly because I'm lazy and I'm busy, and I think that if I, on my deathbed, if I never do anything with those novels, I'll probably regret that. Not that they're like the great American novel or anything, but just, hey, I wrote a novel, man. Like, you should try to sell that novel. But I never have time to deal with it. It takes an incredible amount of time to sell a novel. I think also if I never really learned to blow smoke rings, I'll probably regret that. I can get one occasionally. But anyway, next question. If you had to smoke only 3 blends for the rest of your life, what would they be? Dude, that's tough. That's tough. Because if you ask me just one blend, I would say Old Limey Bastard and be done with it, right? But 3 blends, I think one of them would be Old Limey Bastard. But then you don't want to if you only got 3 blends to work with, you don't want to have duplicates, So is that going to be my one English, Old Limey Bastard? I would definitely have a good glorified codger blend like Rainy Day or like Golden Mixture, which I'm smoking now. An all-day smoke, but more importantly for me, a morning smoke that goes well with coffee. Something with Burleys. And I would have that, and then I would have my main English, which would be Old Limey Bastard. But then I'm like, I need a tobacco that's like a special occasion tobacco. I don't know why you would ever celebrate anything ever again if you could only smoke 3 blends, but just in case you had to celebrate something, I would want something like Northwoods or Plum Pudding or something like that, I think. A real heavy, meaty, full English. But then I've got 2 Englishes in a three option list here. So do I want a Virginia? Would I replace the Codger blend with with a luxury bullseye flake? I don't know. That's a tough one. To me, it's much easier to answer the if you can only smoke 1 blend, or what are your top 5, or but like 3, that's a tough number. So I guess if you're gonna force an answer out of me, Ashton's Rainy Day, Old Limey Bastard, and no, Ashton's Rainy Day, Old Limey Bastard, or like Dark Strong Kentucky. That's it. What is the greatest band of all time? Derek, I am offended that you would even have to ask, because clearly the answer is Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Clearly. Nobody else comes close. Nobody else captures the depth and diversity of rock and roll like the E Street Band. Nobody else has the range of emotion like the E Street Band. Um, it everything they have everything. They have killer songwriting, right? I mean, Springsteen is he's a man when it comes to songwriting. They have awesome like raunchy rock and roll tunes. They have somber acoustic tunes. They have everything. They have everything. And I would have put a caveat here and said, they don't have like really virtuosic technical guitar playing. But now they play with Tom Morello. So check. I think you could say, well, they don't have any really heavy music. And yeah, okay, you're right. But I'm one of those folks that thinks that like the heaviness of music is in the emotion it brings up in the listener rather than the actual like music itself. So like a band like Metallica, they make you feel those heavy emotions through the guitar tones and the technical playing and the screaming and all that stuff. Springsteen can make you feel the same emotions with a 4-track recorder and an acoustic guitar by himself. If you don't believe me, listen to his album Nebraska. It's not an E Street Band album, but there's stuff on Nebraska that is way darker than anything Metallica ever did, anything Slayer ever did. It's just absolutely hair-raisingly upsetting when you really start to listen to that album. And it's just him alone with a 4-track in his like I think an apartment above his garage or something like that. And so you've got that, and then you've got like Glory Days, which is like the campy rock and roll song. But when you actually start to listen to it, there's a lot there. Everybody thinks Springsteen is like jingoistic, born in the USA, 80s Rambo rock, and that is not true. If you start to listen to the lyrics, there's some complexity there that you might not think would be there. I think the big story that comes to mind for me is that when Ronald Reagan sort of appropriated "Born in the USA" for his campaign music. Not unlike the way Donald Trump appropriated some of the Rolling Stones music for his campaign. Springsteen, anyway, Springsteen shut that down pretty quick. Because I think, Born in the USA is a song about hardship in the USA. And Reagan was not, Reagan was like, hey, born in the USA, vote for me, and that didn't work, So he's an artist with a lot of integrity, and I'm just gonna stop talking about that because we're 14 minutes here. So thank you for watching, Derek. Congratulations on all of your subs, and thank you for the Tant-a-way, the worldwide Tant-a-way. Y'all keep the ends out for the ties that bind. Okay, runner up, Metallica. Definitely Metallica, right? Yeah, they're a little more focused than I would like to say for like the best band of all time. It's all metal. It's all harder edge stuff. So it's not like they, but like, yeah, fucking Metallica, man.